everybody, Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby again. I did video 31 the other day, and I explained to you that I was going to do a helix and try and put in a lower staging yard. I've already started the demolition part, and I'm actually almost through with the demolition. Sorry, I just ate a couple of Rolos. I'm addicted to them. Anyways, I'll show you what's been going on with the demolition and kind of what the idea is, and try and explain it as I go along, and see if it makes sense. Let's take a look. Okay, as you guys can see here, you remember the track that went under the bridge over there, went around the back, came around the inside of that track that's back there and tied into this piece of homosote that's cut off right here, and then was on the uphill section where the train is sitting there, come into the tunnel and went around that loop, came down to the flat section there, came around here and tied into that track there, went back around over to the flat part of the layout. That track that you see way in back, I am going to, I think I explained it before, but I'm going to put some stringers on that start it downhill. I'll cut this homosote here and lower this homosote to where it goes under this homosote here and cut through the stringer that goes across and go back into that corner. If I can get down there, back into that corner down there. Now it makes probably a little more sense when you see it. Then the helix will come off of here at some point. I'm not exactly sure at that exact point. I just cut the homosote off. But it will be inside of that radius there. It will go down several turns, come across here, and right, unfortunately, where this piece of wood is screwed on here as a support, I'm going to have to cut up about 2 inches in there, because here's the intent. I was planning on lowering the yard down about this level and then putting some stringers every so often along to support it. But what I've found out is if I take all this wiring, and if I'm able to get all this wiring up out of the way, and all the things that are relatively low here, which is not a whole lot of stuff, but if I can get all that stuff up, I can actually screw either a piece of plywood or a 1x12 or something of that nature right to the bottom of here, and have it come out right to the bottom of here, and have it come out this way, and then I will put extensions out here, whatever I need, and then the fascia itself will screw onto that, and the fascia will actually come down and attach to the outer edge of the yard, and then there will be elongated holes in the fascia that will allow you access to the yard track. So what that means is that between the bottom of these stringers here and the top of this board, I'll have approximately 4 inches of space here. Not on all the track, obviously, because I have a slight bit here, but enough to get my hands in there, and the whole thing that way will be out here towards the front. And the worst case scenario is I may have to come out about another inch or so here, which won't affect the walking in the layout here or anything. Now I'm going to take you down. Well, actually, we'll back up and take a look here at at everything I've torn off, and then we'll go down to the other end. Okay, guys, this is about as far back as I can get. You recognize the corner here with the Yucca Motel, the crossing gates, and so forth. Anyway, I've taken all the fascia off, the control panel, everything that restricts me along the front here for right now. And as I said, I'll have to take all this wiring, and I'll probably have to disconnect some of it and drill bigger holes and run it up through those the outward stringers there. These power supplies and stuff, it's no big deal to get those behind and get all that wire there behind. And then another thing that if I do that can stay is my leg there. My center leg in my long section can stay because I'll just be hooking the board right underneath and in front of that leg. The only thing that's presenting a slight problem right now is what to do with the control panel. I think all I'm going to have to do in reality is move these stringers, that stringer there and this stringer here, out, and just bring the control panel out some. In fact, if you bear with me for just a second, I'll grab the control panel mount. it is trying to get everything in the camera. It's right here. So if I just bring this out some, say this far, that should give me plenty of space under there for the yard behind us. And then all the wiring can go up over the top and be supported at the top and go behind that board in the back, if that makes sense. But anyways, it makes sense to me. And like I said, since I have everything removed from under the layout now, you can kind of visualize if that track that comes around and goes underneath the stringers there, not the one off the helix, but the other one that's on strictly a slope. If I slope it down and around that corner right there, I've got all this distance here to get down to just the bottom level of that 1x there that's mounted to the wall. And then what I'm going to do down here, I'm crawling along on my hands and knees, which is not fun. Anyway, I'll have to cut this stringer out right here. I've already marked it. And the way I have done that is, this was the radius that was inside that I cut off over there at the other end of the layout. If I take this piece, this super elevated track here, and I lay it on there, you can see that it's the exact dimension that the helix will be, and it can also be the dimension of the radius down here. So I merely had to take this piece I cut out and hold it up here, and you can see that if I make that cutout, and that cutout is about 3 inches tall, by the way, I'll have plenty of room for the unitrack to get out here. And this will actually be the level of the yard. I hope that makes sense. One thing I didn't mention is I have some switches tied together here, and 19-inch radius off of the last switch there. And I laid them out on a piece of paper here. And I don't have my tape measure on me, but you'll just have to take it for granted that I know what I'm doing. From this mark right here to a ½ inch beyond this track over here is 10 inches. So in 10 inches, I should be able to get 2 sidings and still have the main lines free underneath, which would allow me to park essentially 6 trains down there. I could park, 2 trains in each direction, plus I could park a train on the main line on the lower section. And then the only thing I have to remember is not to leave it there and crash into it when I come down again. But I'll have to figure that out, how I'm going to do that when I get that far. But as you can see, I have it laid out on paper, and it works, physically laid out on paper, and it seems to work. Okay, guys, I hope that all made some kind of sense. Like I say, I understand it. Probably the next time you see a video, it will be probably video 33, because this one will be 32. The next thing I have on my agenda today is to go over to Lowe's and get a little bit of lumber that I need. I don't have all the I don't have all the wood for the helix and stuff. By the way, I was going to mention about the helix. I'm planning on making the helix out of 1/8-inch tempered masonite and doing it similar to the Ashland design. And hang on a second here. I'm also going to take and bond this unitrack with caulking, thick caulking, whatever I need, or liquid nails, whatever, directly to the 1/8-inch masonite. Between the 1/8-inch masonite and the rigidity of the profile of the unitrack, it should make a relatively strong base, yet the 1/8-inch masonite will be very thin, which will allow for more clearance between levels. I'm going to see if that works before I actually continue on building the helix, but it seems to me like it should work. But at least I have a template to go by here, and it sounds to me like it'll work. So we'll give it a shot. So guys, that's it for video 32, and I thank you for checking in, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. Take care. Hope you come back. Bye-bye.